Good morning. I'm out at Englishman River Falls today, this morning anyway. First stop. It rained all night, so everything is wet and saturated, and it's overcast, which makes it perfect for shooting waterfalls because you don't have to worry about any of those super bright spots and blown out highlights in the water. It's going to be a pretty straightforward photograph. Get set up, probably be shooting around 20 millimeters, and just again, shutter speed is the king. Polarize the look of that water, get the little bit of that sheen off the rocks, set up and get the shot. I ended up hand holding it because there was no way to get the tripod set up on this bridge that I'm on that would allow me to tilt it down far enough to get the bottom of the waterfall, which I really wanted to get. So hand holding it, image stabilization for the win, 1/4 of a second. And one big tip, if you have to hand hold for something like a waterfall, as long as the shutter speed's not too long, one of the things I like to do is I'll put the camera in self-timer mode, but it takes 5 or 10 shots after the timer goes. So your camera shake usually happens when you press that shutter button. So with the self-timer, you can press it, hold your breath, get your composition set, and then it'll take 5 or 10 shots, whatever you tell it to, in a row. And then you can check, and usually 1 out of the 5 or 6 are going to be sharp. And if that's the only way you can get the shot, then give that a try, because usually you can get 1, and all you need is 1 that's sharp. And if the shot comes out, and I know that it will, it looks great, I'll show it to you right now. This is Stocking Creek Falls. It's a little waterfall, but it's really, really pretty. Unfortunately, the water flow is not super great, but it's not bad. A longer shutter speed will help connect all of that to make it a nice look to the flow. And I absolutely love this rock down here in the foreground, or on the left-hand side of the frame with a fern on it. And then this little, like a cave alcove down behind it. So the shot is pretty much what you're looking at right there. 50 millimeters, about half a second, ISO 100, and f11, polarizing to get the sheen off the water. And if the shot comes out, I'll show it to you right now. On our way to Port Renfrew, and this is one of the places on my list to definitely stop. This is Fairy Lake, and it's got the iconic little bonsai tree that's growing out of a stump in the middle of the lake. Nice conditions, a lot of mist and fog back in the way in the back, which is really, really nice. And I'm using my 100 to 400 because I really want to get a lot of detail and fill the frame with a lot of that tree and that stump. A little bit of a reflection. If the wind would stop, it would be really epic, but I don't think that breeze is going to let up, and it's drizzling just a little bit, so there's some raindrops happening. But anyway, let me show you what it looks like, and I'm going to try to explain what I'm trying to avoid and what I'm trying to include. So you can see there's the tree right out there, but there's just no way to get down there. I don't see a path or trail or anything, and bushwhacking through all of that to get down into that extremely cold and wetness is just not going to happen. So what I'm trying to do is I want to include the reflection of the tree and the stump there. And I'm trying to, there's a nice little V in the foliage that's happening right here that's allowing me to shoot through it. Plus I'm zoomed in a lot, and that eliminates a lot of this foreground. So I'm going to try to get as low as I can so that I'm shooting more onto it instead of down onto it. So I can pick up some of that shoreline on the far side way back over there that's got some of that fog in it, which looks really, really nice. So I'm going to take some shots here. Then there's another vantage point that I think will work that's about 50 yards up the side of the lake. And I'm going to try that. And then if the shot comes out, I'll show it to you right now. Good morning. It rained all night and woke up to rain this morning, so everything is really wet and saturated, which looks nice, but it's really overcast, like fog. Not really fog, but just low-hanging clouds on the beaches with just solid white skies. But I'm headed down to Botanical Beach. I've not been here before, haven't been to any of these places. Just to see what it looks like. One of the key things is a low tide, because it's mostly a rocky beach with tide pools. It's not like what you would envision. It's not a Hawaiian sandy beach by any stretch. But anyway, it's a nice, easy, wide path to get down to the beach. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I get there. Made it down to the beach. And even though there's really no sky whatsoever, it's really pretty. I think maybe a black and white, or maybe not, just a desaturated color image. Let me show you. So I absolutely love this sea stack with all the trees on it. That's really cool. Like a little bay right there. I don't know how I'm gonna set up yet, but you can just see the sky and the fog. Mist is just prevalent everywhere. But that right there is still really pretty. I think would make a nice photograph. I'm just going to try to see and find something to put in the foreground, or if not, just have some kind of a leading line with rocks or the bay or something. So I'm going to look around and get set up, show you what I find. So here's my first composition. Probably not going to be able to see it on the back of the camera at all, but I'm really low. And I've got this nice little tide pool in my foreground with these nice leading lines of these jagged rocks, and it goes all the way back up to the sea stack with the trees on it. And getting really close, and I am at probably 18 millimeters or so, I think really helps to exaggerate the height of these trees and make this make this little tide pool look a lot larger than it actually is. I have to focus stack it and bracket because I don't want, there's a little bit of texture back there in those clouds, just a little bit, some gradation. So I don't want to just totally blow it out totally white. Maybe just some semblance of gray here and there would be nice. And it's really dark back there on that sea stack underneath the vegetation. So it's going to require a lot of shots for bracketing for the exposure and then focus stacking on top of that. But if I can put it all together and the shot comes out, I'll show it to you right now. Trees right there are insane. I know there's a shot, and especially with a little bit of fog that's happening. I just gotta wait for the hikers or to get by, and I'll sit up and get a shot. But I think there's something here. Here's the shot I framed up on the back of the camera, and it's this wonderful tree that's just looping around, and then I've got this great keyhole right through the middle to all these other twisty, gnarly trees, and the light is absolutely perfect. The good news is I don't have to bracket. The bad news is focus stacking is an absolute must because everything is super close. Got to get it all. Let me get the shot. I know it's going to be awesome, and I'll show it to you right now. This next stop is Sombrio Beach, and there is a secret waterfall. It's not secret. That's what they call it. It used to be a secret, but it's not anymore. Obviously, everybody and their brother knows about it, and I'm sure every car in that parking lot back there will coming down to go to see it. But anyway, you get down to the beach, hang a left, go down, and then there's a little, like a slot canyon with a waterfall at the back of it. And so that's the goal for today. It's great conditions. It's overcast, just like it was earlier today. It's a little rainy, but it's neither here nor there, as long as it doesn't get too heavy. Anyway, we'll pick it up when we get to the beach. After walking down the beach just a little bit, this is the second stream, and that's the big clue for you to head up that way, up the stream to the waterfall. So I won't be vlogging on the way up because I don't want to fall, because it's pretty narrow and I'll be walking in water. So we'll pick it up again once I get to the waterfall. It's actually not too bad if you've got mud boots on, so you don't have to worry about, you've got decent traction and your feet stay dry. But yeah, I'm almost there. I'll show you what it looks like. So if you walk in the water, and right up in that hole way back there, you just see the waterfall. Hopefully the back of the camera is visible. There is a portfolio image, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be epic. It looks amazing with these little bitty rapids, little bitty falls that are right here in the foreground. Now let's just do it this way. You see it right here, and then the waterfall's way back there in the back. And then I've got this giant keyhole just illuminating that falls in the very, very back. So I played with the shutter speed. The people were nice enough just to hold up for just a second to let me get a few shots without people in it. So that was really good, because the secret waterfall, not really much of a secret to be honest, but it is worthy and epic to get a photograph of it. But f/16, good depth of field, 35 millimeters, because I'm really not interested in the waterfall exactly. It's the whole environment. The waterfall itself, it's just like a stream that comes down in the back. I'm going to go up there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. It will be a good photograph all the way back there. I think the photograph is back here where I'm at. ISO 320, f11, focus stacked. Awesome photograph. I think the shutter speed was about 1.6 seconds. I'll show it to you right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.